Hey everyone, so wanted to offer this chanting course. Chanting has been very close to my heart, and it's been a path that I found that is so easy, effortless, and yeah, almost magical. And also with my affinity towards music, this is something that really was attractive for me. So, like they say, choose the path that that's very natural and effortless, and think it's quite easy that way. And also, I find that chanting really puts your logical mind to rest. So you truly understand the essence of it because a lot of different paths, for example, the one of inquiry, brings forth your logical mind and your questioning and thinking, which has its place. And for me, that's been very precious too. But this one is really takes all that out and puts you in that state that everyone wants you to be, which is here, without adding too many stories. So that's why it's been very powerful for me. And since I announced this course, interestingly, a lot of videos have been coming up on YouTube and other places where I've been seeing so many benefits of chanting. There was this lady who's doing these studies on the brain and how chanting impacts it, and even simple om chanting, like even once or twice, she said they could see differences in the brain and the different parameters there. So very fascinating studies and everything. But more than any study, I think if you tune into your own experience and what's happening, it'll give you proof. I don't know how much of chanting all of you are familiar with or not. For me, chanting came into my life very, very early. So, growing up, I grew up in Bangalore in India. So, in my home, we would have a shower and like sort of pray to the gods. So, we would sort of go and chant different chants, and they start teaching you small chants right when you're a kid. So that's where it started. But of course, I don't pay much attention to it at that point. But more recently, through Nitya, got introduced to Buddhist chants, and then I got introduced to Krishna Das, who chants again the names of the Hindu gods and goddesses. Uh, and that somehow the energy that he tunes into really connected me to what this is all about. So, like he says, this is about saying the names of the love that lives within our heart. And so it evokes that love and returns us back to that love that we are. So that's been my experience, and and I hope it is so for you. So I want to create this space essentially for us to come back to that, because a lot of things are happening and we may not prioritize this. So just giving that space to be able to do that for myself and for everyone who joins me. So that's like a brief introduction. Any questions, anything at all you want to ask at this point?
Are we
Are we
going to
going to
practice?
practice?
Yes. Um, so my idea is for today I'll chant a few chants that I know, and then you can sing along with me. And then I mean we'll be muted, of course, because it doesn't everyone can't sing together, unfortunately, if it's not a physical space. But yeah, we'll sing together, and then it's very simple chants, so it's not going to be complicated. Yeah, I'll do a couple of invocations which may be familiar or not, but after that we'll do simple one line chants which you can all join me in. And going forward, we'll do those and some of the. I'm thinking we can explore some of the Buddhist chants, like longer suttas and so on. And hope, yeah, if you want to learn that, and also these, also we'll keep doing practice of chants, repetitive ones as well. Like, so that's the broad idea. All right. Anything else? Okay, let's start. So I want to start with the invocation. Since today is Buddha Purnima, I want to do the Triratna Vandana. So let me. I don't know if you're familiar with that, but you can just listen in to these two, and then we'll can join me in. And if you're familiar with this, please join me. But yeah, everyone can stay muted because it doesn't all come together, sadly, on Zoom. One second. नमो तस्य भगवतो अरहतो सम्मा सम्बुद्धस्स नमो तस्य अरहतो भगवतो सम्मा सम्बुद्धस्स नमो तस्य भगवतो अरहतो सम्मा सम्बुद्धस्स बुद्धं शरणं गच्छामि धम्मं शरणं गच्छामि संघं शरणं गच्छामि द्वितीयम्पि बुद्धं शरणं गच्छामि धम्मं शरणं गच्छामि द्वितीयम्पि संघं शरणं गच्छामि तृतीयम्पि बुद्धं शरणं गच्छामि तृतीयम्पि धम्मं शरणं गच्छामि तृतीयम्पि संघं शरणं गच्छामि इतिपिसो भगवा अरहं सम्मा सम्बुद्धो विद्याचरणसम्पन्नो सुगतो लोकविदु अनुत्तरो पुरुषधम्मसारथि सत्ता देवमनस्सानं बुद्धो भगवाति स्वाख्यातो भगवता धम्मो सन्दिट्टिको अक्कालिको एहिपसिको औपनयिको पच्चत्तं वेदितव्यो विन्योहीति सुपटिपन्नो भगवतो सावकसङ्गो उजुपटिपन्नो भगवतो सावकसङ्गो न्यायपटिपन्नो भगवतो सावकसङ्गो सामीचिपटिपन्नो भगवतो सावकसङ्गो यदिदं चत्तारि पुरुषयुगानि अट्टपुरुषपुग्गला एष भगवतो सावकसङ्गो आहुनेयो बाहुनेयो दक्षिणेयो अञ्जलिकरणीयो अनुत्तरं पुण्यक्षेत्रं लोकस्याति ये च बुद्धातीता च ये च बुद्धा अनागता पच्चुपन्ना च ये बुद्धा अहं वन्दामि सर्वदा ये च धम्मा अतीता च ये च धम्मा अनागता पच्चुपन्ना च ये धम्मा अहं वन्दामि सर्वदा ये च सङ्घा अतीता च ये च सङ्घा अनागता पच्चुपन्ना च ये सङ्घा अहं वन्दामि सर्वदा नत्थि मे शरणं अन्यं बुद्धो मे शरणं वरन् एतेन सच्चवज्जेन सोतिते होतु सर्वदा नत्थि मे शरणं अन्यं धम्मो मे शरणं वरन् एतेन सच्चवज्जेन सोतिते होतु सर्वदा नत्थि मे शरणं अन्यं सङ्घो मे शरणं वरम् एतेन सच्चवज्जेन सोतिते होतु सर्वदा इमिना पुण्यकम्मेन मामे बालसमागमो सतं समागमो होतु यावन्निब्बाणपत्त्या इमिना पुण्यकम्मेन मामे बालसमागमो सतं समागमो होतु यावन्निब्बाणपत्त्या So this is the Triratna Vandana. It is the homage we pay to the three jewels, the Buddha, the Dhamma and the Sangha. So the Buddha is the enlightened or wise ones, not just the Buddha that we know, but countless Buddhas that have been for time immemorial. So we pay homage to all the Buddhas, all the wise ones. And the Dhamma, which is the truth, and the Sangha, which the company of the wise or the company of the people who are on this path to or path of truth. So that was the Tiratna Vandana. I want to also chant the Hanumat Stavan. It's homage to Hanuman, who is the monkey god in the Hindu tradition, but he's also the flow that connects us to the Supreme. So I'll just chant that. प्रणवौ पवनकुमार खलबन पावक ज्ञानघन जसु हृदयागार बसहि राम सर चापधर अतुलित बलधामं हेमशैलाभदेहं तनूजवन कृशानुं ज्ञानिनामाग्रगण्यम् सकलगुणनिधानं वानराणामधीशं रघुपतिप्रियभक्तं वातजातं नमामि खुष्पदीकृतवारीशं मशकीकृतराक्षसं रामायणमहामालरत्नं वन्दे नीलात्मजम् अञ्जनानन्दनं वीरं जानकीशोकनाशनं कपीशमक्षहन्तारं वन्दे लङ्काभयङ्करम् उल्लङ्घ्य सिन्धो सलिलं सलीलं यशोकवाही जनकात्मजायाः आदाय तेनैव तदाहलङ्का नमामि तं प्राञ्जलिराञ्जनेयम् मनोजवं मारुततुल्यवेगं जितेन्द्रियं बुद्धिमतां वरिष्ठं वातात्मजं वानरयूथमुख्यं श्रीरामदूतं शरणं प्रपद्ये श्रीरामदूतं शरणं प्रपद्ये श्रीरामदूतं शरणं प्रपद्ये। बोलो बजरंग बली हनुमान की जय। Okay. Okay, so we're saying that we take refuge in the messenger of Ram, who is Hanuman. Okay. So now we'll do a few simple chants. Thank you. So I want to start with the Padma Sambhava chant. I don't know if you're familiar. One second. Yeah, so Padma Sambhava is also known as the second Buddha. So he took the Dharma to Tibet, and his story is very, very fascinating. Are some of you familiar with Padma Sambhava already? I don't know. Wanted to check. Okay, so his story has been really, really impactful to me because he seemed like this. He's known as the father of quantum physics. So he was born in a lake, and as in he literally manifested on a lake, and then he was studying he was in the Nalanda University, and then there was this princess Mandarava in Himachal Pradesh, the daughter of the king there, and she wanted to sort of go on this path and was praying for a teacher. And he hears this in when he's in Nalanda, and he sort of goes to her and her friends, and he starts helping them. But the king got upset. He thought this was no, he was up to no good or something. He had his suspicions, so he sets him on fire, and he turns the fire into like water. He transforms it into water, and yeah, so pretty magical things like that. And also he's hidden like these teachings for the future generations. They're called dharmas, so he's hidden them in the mind stream of the future generations of people who are on this path, I guess. So it's pretty fascinating about like how he operated and things he did. It's pretty nice if you ever want to read about him. So I've been very touched by his energy, and his chant sort of encodes that frequency, I think. So yeah, I've been. The other thing about chants is that it's almost like they're encoded with this frequency, and as you chant, you sort of assimilate it. So yeah, pretty powerful. Especially some of the, I know this about the Buddhist chants. I don't know this about the Hindu chants, but each syllable has like a meaning, and and as you go deeper, there are layers and layers of meaning below. So pretty fascinating how it's all been done. Anyway, so let's chant. So the Padmasambhava chant is Onga Hong, uh, Vajra Guru Padma Siddhi Hom, or Onga Hong Benza Guru Pema Siddhi Hom. Depends if it's Sanskrit or Pali. So we'll do both. Onga Hong Vajra Guru Padma Siddhi Hom. 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 Onga Hong Benza 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 Guru Padma Siddhi Hom. Onga Hong Vajra 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 Guru Padma Siddhi Hom. Okay, so next we can do Babaji's mantra. So many of you may be familiar with Mahatar Babaji, who introduced Kriya Yoga, and he was brought to the West by when Paramahamsa Yogananda wrote about him in the autobiography of a yogi. So he's supposed to be a deathless guru. He's supposed to be still in his body in the Himalayas. He appears to uh, those he chooses once in a while. So yeah, but a lot of people do connect with his energy and his presence, and that's been true for me too. Just tuning into his energy. They say even taking his name brings on a blessing. So, so yeah, so let's chant his name. Om Kriya Babaji Namo. Om Kriya Babaji Namo. Om Kriya Babaji Namo. Om Kriya Babaji Namo. Kriya Babaji Nama, Kriya Babaji Nama, Kriya Babaji Nama. Om Kriya Babaji Nama, Kriya Babaji Nama, Kriya Babaji Nama. Om Kriya Babaji Nama, Kriya Babaji Nama, Kriya Babaji Nama. Om Kriya Babaji Nama. Om Kriya Babaji Nama. Om Kriya Babaji Namo. 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 Kriya Babaji Nama, Kriya Babaji Nama, Kriya Babaji Nama. Kriya Babaji, Kriya Babaji, Kriya Babaji Nama. Kriya Babaji Nama, Kriya Babaji Nama, Kriya Babaji Nama. Om Kriya Babaji Nama. Om Kriya Babaji Nama. Om Kriya Babaji Nama. Okay. Um, so the next chant we'll do is. I hope you're able to follow me. Are you able to follow along, or should I slow down? Love some input on that. Maybe you can just do a thumbs up if you don't want to talk. Okay, good. So the next one I want to do is the Amitabha Buddha. This has been very interesting. So Amitabha Buddha is one of the Buddhas, and it's known as the Pure Land tradition, and he's supposed to be a Buddha who once he became a Buddha, he took this vow that whoever takes his name sincerely, even just 10 times, they will be reborn in this pure land called Sukhavati, and they will eventually go on to become Buddhas. So it's pretty fascinating that he gives it such a simple way, and so that that tradition and a lot of stories there and are very fascinating if you want to go explore that. But for me, just the chant when I heard it from my teacher, I don't know, it had this energy where I was just in tears, and it's never happened. So yeah, it's been a very powerful chant. I find it very powerful, his energy and his presence. So, and something so easy. And also, he's the master of pure perception. So, pure perception says that the outer world is a reflection of the inner world. And to take it to 100%, right? To say that no matter what you're seeing in your outer world, it's a reflection of your inner world. And so, as we purify our perception or our inner world, the outer world shifts. And of course, this, I think we've come across this in many traditions, but um, this is where I first came across pure perception, and it's been a very beautiful teaching to just. So, you have nobody to blame outside, or as you do your work inside, everything else shifts on the outside. So there's nobody to hold accountable or nobody to wait for that they have to change and then I can do this. So this situation has to change and then I will be better off. So as you shift inside, the outer world shifts. So yeah. So let's chant this Amitabha Buddha mantra for a few minutes. Namo Amitabho Amritayu Namo Amitabho Bandho Namo 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 Amitabho Bandho Namo Amitabha Buddha, Namo Amitabha Buddha, Namo Amitabha Buddha, Namo Amitabha Buddha. Namo Amitabho Amritayu, Namo Amitabho Bandho. Amitabho Amritayu, Amitabho Bandho. Namo Amitabha Buddha, Namo Amitabha Buddha, Namo Amitabha Buddha, Namo Amitabha Buddha. Namo Amitabha Buddha, Namo Amitabha Buddha, Namo Amitabha Buddha, Namo Amitabha Buddha. Namo Amitabha Buddha, Namo Amitabha Buddha, Namo Amitabha Buddha, Namo Amitabha Buddha. Namo Amitabho Amritayu, Namo Amitabho Bandho. Amitabho Amritayu, Namo Amitabho Bandho. Amitabha, 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 Amitabha. Namo Amitabho Amritayu, Namo Amitabho Bandho. Namo Amitabha Bandha, Namo Amitabha Bandha, Namo Amitabha Bandha. Namo Amitabha Bandha, Namo Amitabha Bandha. Namo Amitabha Bandha, Namo Amitabha Bandha, Namo Amitabha Bandha. Amitabha, 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 Amitabha. Namo Amitabho Amritayu, Namo Amitabho last few minutes of chanting, and then we can have some discussion. So I want to chant. Let's chant Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. So I can do this as a like a call and response. So I'll sing and then you sing, and I'll give you time to sing basically, though I can't hear you guys. Um, so that's how we'll do it. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Okay. So thank you everyone for joining in the chanting. Love to ask if there's any questions, any clarifications, anything you want to ask. Or say. Are you able to? I think you should be able to unmute, right? Okay. If there's nothing much to say, so the other part that I wanted to cover as part of this is, apart from the chanting, is maybe we read from different teachers and teachings. Though I wrote in the description, I wrote Nisargadatta Maharaj and Ramana Maharshi. We could explore anything that's of interest in the group. So any readings, and that's some of the time that I want to keep in the 1 hour that we will have. Thank you, Pravina. So that's the broad idea. We have 5 minutes. I want to read. I want to close at 7:50 today because I know we have a session at 8. So I want to read from this book. I Am That, from Nisargadatta Maharaj. So I just want to read his introduction. I'm guessing a lot of you are familiar or not. I don't know. So I'll show you. So Nisargadatta Maharaj looks like that. His is again a very fascinating story because more recent, a guru of recent times, and somebody who had such a simple life, and like I was a common man in that sense, and with no spiritual lineage or background from family perspective, and still like so wise, and yeah, his teachings really cut through a lot and get directly to the point. So again, one of the teachers who's been very, very influential for me. So yeah, I just want to read this couple of pages about who is Nisargadatta Maharaj. So who is Nisargadatta Maharaj? When asked about the date, sorry, one second. When asked about the date of his birth, the master replied casually that he was never born. Writing a biographical note on Sri Nisargadatta Maharaj is a frustrating and unrewarding task. Not only is the exact date of his birth unknown, but no verified facts concerning the early years of his life are available. However, some of his elderly relatives and friends say that he was born in the month of March 1897 on a full moon day, which coincided with the festival of Hanuman Jayanti, when Hindus pay their homage to Hanuman, also named Maruti, the monkey god of Ramayana fame. To associate his birth with this auspicious day, his parents named him Maruti. Available information about his boyhood and early youth is patchy and disconnected. We learn that his father, Shivram Pant, was a poor man who worked for some time as a domestic servant in Bombay and later eked out his livelihood as a petty farmer at Kandalgaon, a small village in the backwoods of Ratnagiri district of Maharashtra. So Maruti grew up almost without education. As a boy, he assisted his father in such labors as lay within his power, tended cattle, drove oxen, worked in the fields, and ran errands. His pleasures were simple as his labors, but he was gifted with an inquisitive mind, bubbling over with questions of all sorts. His father had a Brahmin friend named Vishnu Haribhav Gore, who was a pious man and learned too by rural standards. Gore often talked about religious topics, and the boy Maruti listened attentively and dwelt on these topics far more than anyone would suppose. Gore was for him the ideal man, earnest, kind, and wise. When Maruti attained the age of 18, his father died, leaving behind his widow, 4 sons, and 2 daughters. The meager income from the small farm dwindled further after the old man's death and was not sufficient to feed so many mouths. Maruti's elder brother left the village for Bombay in search of work, and Maruti followed shortly after. It is said that in Bombay he worked for a few months as a low paid junior clerk in an office but resigned the job in disgust. He then took up petty trading as a haberdasher and started a shop for selling children's clothes, tobacco, and hand rolled country cigarettes, BDs. This business is said to have flourished in the course of time, giving him a small degree of financial security. During this period, he became married and had a son and 3 daughters. Childhood, youth, marriage, progeny, Maruti lived the usual humdrum and eventless life of a common man until his middle age, with no inkling at all of the sainthood that was to follow. Among his friends during this period was one Yashwant Rao Bakkar, who was a devotee of Sri Siddharameshwar Maharaj, a spiritual teacher of the Navnath Sampradaya, a sect of Hinduism. One evening, Bakkar took Maruti to his guru, and that evening proved to be the turning point in his life. The guru gave him a mantra and instructions on meditation. Early in his practice, he started having visions and occasionally even fell into trances. Something exploded within him, as it were, giving birth to a cosmic consciousness, a sense of eternal life. The identity of Maruti, the petty shopkeeper, dissolved, and the illuminating personality of Sri Nisargadatta emerged. Most people live in the world of self consciousness and do not have the desire or power to leave it. They exist only for themselves. All their effort is directed towards achievement of self satisfaction and self glorification. There are, however, seers, teachers, and revealers who, while apparently living in the same world, live simultaneously in another world also, the world of cosmic consciousness, effulgent with infinite knowledge. After his illuminating experience, Sri Nisargadatta Maharaj started living such a dual life. He ran his shop but ceased to be a profit minded merchant. Later, abandoning his family and business, he became a mendicant, a pilgrim over the vastness and variety of the Indian religious scene. He walked barefooted on his way to the Himalayas, where he planned to pass the rest of his years in quest of an eternal life. But he soon retraced his steps and came back home, comprehending the futility of such a quest. Eternal life, he perceived, was not to be sought for, he already had it. Having gone beyond the I am the body idea, he had acquired a mental state so joyful, peaceful, and glorious that everything appeared to be worthless compared to it. He had attained self realization. Uneducated though the master is, his conversation is enlightened to an extraordinary degree. Though born and brought up in poverty, he is the richest of the rich, for he has the timeless wealth of perennial knowledge, compared to which the most fabulous treasures are mere tinsel. He is warm hearted and tender, shrewdly humorous, absolutely fearless, and absolutely true, inspiring, guiding, and supporting all who come to him. Any attempt to write a biographical note on such a man is frivolous and futile, for he is not a man who is with the past or future. He is the living present, eternal and immutable. He is the self that has become all things. Maharaj died on September 8, 1981. Okay, so just wanted to read that a little bit. I would love to open up for any questions, anything you want to say at all. All right. If not, we can close. Thank you for joining, everyone, and hope to see you next week.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Thanks, Meta.